Peak Gaming Login. Spoilers for Rave Master. If you haven't read it, go read it. Do your homework on it. I wanted to throw some more manga panels into this video, but y'all gonna have to bear with me into the next ones because my phone just tripping. It is what it is. I'ma still make this a banger though. But hey, I definitely see why people say that this is Hiro Mashima's best work. I was a hater for years. When I say years, I mean years. I even went to watch the anime knowing that it was going to be 8 bits per second, and I just to hate on it, just so I know I had a reason to hate on it, just to solidify my point in saying that Fairy Tail was the best work that he ever put out. Let me rehash what I say. I ain't saying that this better than Fairy Tail, but I'm saying close competition. And Eden Zero. All three of them really neck and neck. But this was a masterpiece. I ain't gonna lie. This is some of the best storytelling I've ever seen in a manga, period. Like, this will be reread in my spare time. I will reread this. Because one thing that this does, it really opens up why Fairy Tail is the way that it is. It really opens up the fact that Hiro Mashima isn't too graphic in his other works until he gets to Eden Zero, where he has a little bit more freedom to do what he does. Because this was some, it was some gore in this. Like the way, like a panel that comes to my head was Shooter cutting off his arm, or C just stabbing the old man. I hope this don't get demolished. This is all fictional, by the way. Fake of course. But when Siege had stabbed the old man through his body with his cane, like, it's some gore. It really is. So you see why the other works were done the way they were. And this also gives a very good representation of the formula that he uses for every other media that he comes out with. For every other series that he comes out with, this is the formula. Because Ethereon has been used in everything that he's ever put out. Ethereon has been used in every single way that he has put it out. And I will say, in Fairy Tail, it's very underwhelming because Natsu eats it. Natsu can eat Ethereon if he really wanted to. Like, it's very underwhelming. And in Eden Zero, I don't even think he really got a chance to use it. It was being hyped up, but he didn't really get a chance to use it. It was more of just mentioned. This is the best way that I have seen it being used, because he straight up was like, this is the end all be all. Rave was hyped. Rave was represented to be like the savior, but it's really Ethereon that was the only thing that mattered. Whoever had Ethereon on his side was the winner, was automatically going to be the winner. And I like that it gave that idea that Ellie isn't just some durotagonist. She's not just some side chick character that's on the sideline watching Haru do this work. If anything, she's more important than Haru. That's what I like. That's what I really loved about this. Everybody was important in some way. Nobody felt like they were being undershadowed by someone else. Everyone did good. Everybody was very well represented, and it was just amazing for me, because I think if I had to pick like some of my favorite moments, a lot of them, Musica's romance story was a great moment. From Musica's romance story to Let's romance story to Haru and Ellie's, like, the romance, it's very poetic. That's what I like about older manga and stuff. They make everything poetic, where it's not just some romantic, cheesy rom-com bull. That I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. This was poetry, bro. It was poetry. Reading this shit, because the stories behind how they did all of it, and and like how Musica was never able really to move on from Shorty. I forgot her name, but we love you, 20 gang will forever will forever appreciate and we will always miss you. But the way that he never moved on from her, knowing that he's a ladies' man, going from the beginning of the story where he's a player to at the end he can't get over a chick, and with Let losing his humanity for his girl, and then when they turn into humans and they're fighting against their own race, it's just perfect. And then with Ellie and Haru, with Haru sort of where it's like Haru's messing with Silver's chick, but at the same time, it's not Silver's chick. And then you have the balance of Ellie trying to figure out who she really is, because she's Ellie, but at the same time, she's dang Reva. I think that was her name. Reva. No, Rave is. Dang, I'm trying to remember her name, but Ellie is trying to be two people at once, and she's trying to figure out who she is because she lost her memory at the same time. And the way that everybody has very separate goals, but they all coalesce together. This was amazing, genuinely amazing. And if you really want to talk about it, let's talk about it. Because Siege being revealed to be the man that was sitting at the grave waiting for Ellie and Haru to come back on the day of the great emergence or whatever it was. I forgot what it was called. That was beautiful. Was enough to make a grown man cry. Siege is getting his own video. Swear to God. I will make it happen. We need a 10-minute video about Siege. He was by far my favorite character in this series, because how he starts off and then how he concludes, his character conclusion is probably it's a top 5 favorite character conclusion in all of anime. For me, loved it, loved to see it. It was a masterpiece. I know a master at work when I see it. The only complaint that I will have is that Rave sort of felt like, not even Rave, Haru sort of felt kind of underwhelming. But at the same time, even with that, it had its own reason behind it, because Haru, for a majority of the series until like the final battle, was using a sword that wasn't meant for him to wield. So it really wasn't meant to accommodate for how he fights. He just had to make it work. But with that being said, Haru, he always seemed strong, but it never felt like he locked in for me. It never felt like he actually sat up in his chair and locked in. And I'm not saying that he didn't have moments where he just wasn't trying, because Doryu was putting belt to booty. The Demon Kings, belt to booty. Who else did Haru fight? Lucia in the final battle, belt to booty. Like, the amount of times that Haru had gotten drugged through the story is honestly insane. He's been getting dragged around the entire story. But my thing is, we see him lock in. When he thought that Lucia killed Shooter in their second fight, I believe, all hell broke loose. He was really working that boy. He was doing it to that boy. What is wrong with that boy? He was really handing him the beats, bro. So you know that he can do it if he wants. He just never wanted to apply himself to the pressure. And with that sort of made him kind of underwhelming for me. And that sort of made Rave feel sort of underwhelming. Because it's like you're the white knight, but you don't even want to do your job the correct way. But at the same time, I feel like it's masterfully handled, simply because the way that Haru's character is portrayed, and the whole idea that he's not even using a weapon that he's supposed to be using. So, I mean, that was just a little nitpicky. But yeah, that shit was perfect. I really hope this uploads. We 9 minutes and 30 seconds. I hope this uploads, bro. Pray for me. But hey, y'all stay safe though. I'm out.